Hello guys, welcome back to Revive. Today we are going to recap a movie that an American teenager, who while visiting his estranged dad in England, gets into an emotional relationship with the older foreign maid working there. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell for more videos like this. Now grab some popcorn and get ready. This movie tells the story of a boy named Jack, a teenager from America. The movie opens with Jack traveling in a taxi. He visits his father and spends his upcoming birthday with him. He hopes to save their fragile relationship. Upon reaching his destination, he meets his father, David. David shows Jack his room, however. Jack is not satisfied with the condition of the room and compares it to a prison cell. Hearing this, David asks Jack why he hates him so much, but receives no reply. David then leaves the room. As soon as David leaves, Jack takes a bottle of whiskey from his pocket and takes a sip. He then lies on the bed and falls asleep. The next morning, Jack takes a walk around the grounds and meets Maria, his father's maid. Just then, David comes in, introduces Jack to Maria, leaves them, and tells him he has an important appointment. Maria goes inside and gives Jack a drink. She then asks how long he plans to stay. He replied that he was only there for a few days because he was not that close to his father. Maria, she says, then he should be closer to her mother than to her father. This infuriates Jack, and he quickly leaves. Maria walks in and then she sees Jack in the room. She apologizes for what she said before. Jack ignores her and goes out with his camera. He takes some pictures and wanders around the neighborhood. Later that day, Maria comes to say goodbye. However, Jack calls her back and apologizes for his previous behavior. He then tells Maria that his mother died giving birth to him. Maria sympathizes and they talk about his mother. Maria then leaves and Jack returns to his room. His father asked him if he wanted to go out to dinner, but Jack yelled at him and told David to leave him alone. The next day, while Jack is clicking pictures of his neighborhood, a girl named Becky approaches him and tries to flirt with him, but he pays no attention to her. Jack sees Maria passing by on her bike and goes home. Back home, Jack took a picture of Maria without her noticing. Sometime later, Jack and Maria are chatting about his love affairs in the kitchen. Maria then asks him if he wants to spend time with David. However, Jack gets angry and leaves. Maria follows him and she tries to talk to him. Jack says there that he's not mad at her, but at his father. He also tells her that he lives with his uncle in America. During the conversation, Jack learns that Maria has also lost someone close to her. He tells her that she is too depressed in her own life to talk about her other things. He asks her how many years Maria has spent in England. Maria replied and she added that she also stayed in Germany. She then leaves to prepare food. Sometime later, Jack and Maria have dinner together. He compliments her and she thanks him. He also tells her that he likes talking to her. Maria, she replies that she will always be there for him. If you come this fat, please subscribe the channel and let's continue. Later that day, as Jack was sitting in the garden, Maria approached him and handed him a drink. Jack shows her a picture of her mother and Maria compliments her saying she is beautiful. She then asks him about his birthday plans. Jack replies saying that he's not in the mood to talk and leaves angrily. Maria calls after him but he does not answer. Later while Jack is taking a drink in his room, Maria walks in and asks him what was wrong. He tells her that he gets depressed when his birthday comes around, because he feels guilty about his mom. He asks Maria whom she lost, but she replies that she doesn't want to talk about it. Jack convinces her that it's good to talk about it to someone. Maria walks to the window and narrates how she got pregnant when she was almost the same age as Jack. She says that her boyfriend asked to abort it, but she couldn't. Maria narrates further saying her parents let her give birth to the baby. But after giving birth to a baby boy, her parents made her give up the baby for adoption. She says that she can't forgive them for what they did to her and tells him that she hates herself for not standing up for the baby. Jack sympathizes and asks her whether she ever tried to find the baby, but she says no. Later that day, David comes home and informs Jack that he has to go to Paris for a day. Jack gets furious and tells David that he has never had time for him. David tells him that Maria will be around to keep him company. Later that night, Maria and Jack discuss about Jack's stepmom. Jack tells her that David is always going to work and doesn't have time for him. Maria asks him to forgive his dad. Jack listens to her advice and they watch TV together. Jack then goes to bed and looks at the pictures of Maria that he took. He pleasures himself while looking at it. The day Maria is acquainted with Jacob, her ex-boyfriend who is a reporter. He tells her that he is in the neighborhood to cover a story. Maria invites him for a coffee, the two then chat about what went wrong in their relationship. While Jack listens to this from the other room, Jacob then confesses that he is still in love with Maria and begs her to think about it, and the next day while Maria is preparing food in the kitchen, Jack comes in. She congratulates him on his birthday. Jack asks her what did she get for him, but Maria says she didn't buy anything for him. She asks him to tell whatever he wants as long as it is not expensive, and she will get it for him. Maria looks at him confused and doesn't understand him. Jack reminds her that she promised him a birthday present. Maria finally understands what he meant and reminds him that he's just a kid and it isn't right for him to see her in that way. Jack then tells Maria that he heard everything Jacob said the other day. He then confesses that he loves her. But Maria tells that she was just being friendly with him and doesn't want to give him a wrong impression. She also tells him that she is a friend and nothing more. Jack approaches her and starts touching her. Maria slaps him. The doorbell rings at this point. Maria opens the door and finds Becky at the door. Becky asks for Jack. Jack comes out and she asks him whether they could hang out together. He goes with Becky, making Maria jealous. While walking, Becky flirts with Jack, but he doesn't seem to be interested in her, so he goes back to his house. He looks for Maria and finds her crying at the kitchen. Jack tries to console her and Maria asks what does he want from her. Jack tells her that he loves her and he will take care of her. Hearing this, Maria hugs Jack and he tries to touch her. Moments later, she pushes him off, saying what they are doing is wrong. But Jack says it doesn't feel wrong to him. He hugs Maria again. She opens her top for him and he starts to caress them and starts to make out. Maria stops him again and runs out of the kitchen. Maria sits in the living room. Jack approaches her and talks to her. Maria asks him about his past relationships, but he tells her that he has never been in love with any girl except Maria. Maria then tells him that the age difference between them makes it difficult for them to have a future together, but Jack says that it doesn't matter. He tells her that he'll kill himself if she leaves him. Maria replies that she will never leave him. Jack asks her to prove it. So Maria moves closer to him and they make love. Once they are finished, Maria talks to Jack about his father. She tells him to stop hating his father. Jack promises to make things right with his father before he leaves. If you come this far and like the movie, please subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell to stay with us. Let's continue. Later that day, Maria is in the kitchen preparing some lemons. Jack comes from behind and kisses her from the back. Just then, David announces his arrival. He walks in and congratulates Jack on his birthday and gives him a birthday gift. David then tells them that they all should go out for dinner later that day, but Jack refuses. Maria offers to talk to him about it. She goes to his room and convinces him to go to the dinner. Later that day, Jack comes down to meet David in the living room. They have a drink together and Jack calls his dad a selfish man. David accepts his mistakes and asks Jack to give him another chance to correct his mistakes. The next day, Jack waits for Maria. When he sees her, he begs her to spend the whole day with him, as he is going back the next day. He convinces her to take him to his apartment where they can be all alone. After reaching the apartment, Jack begins to make love with Maria, but in the meantime Maria sobs and Jack asks her what's going on. She then reveals to Jack that she has not been honest with him about her son. She was looking for her son but found out that he died in an accident. Jack feels sorry for her and tries to comfort her, and they love each other again. Then Maria tells him that she hadn't felt this way in a long time. She tells him that she always broke up with her ex-boyfriends, who spoke of marriage as she was afraid of having children again. Jack tells her that it can't go on like this and that her tragedy will make her a better mother, and they make love again. The next day, Jack and Maria say goodbye to each other. He asks her to visit him when she can, then kisses her. David is waiting for him outside in a cab. David wishes him a safe journey and hugs him. This means their relationship has been sorted. Jack then gets into a taxi and leaves. The next scene shows Maria visiting her mother. Her mother cries when she sees her, and Maria goes to her to comfort her. The movie ends with Maria smiling as she does the laundry, her hands at the belly, meaning that she is pregnant. Thank you for watching and subscribe to the channel.